Welcome to NC Wine Snobs as we savor the world one sip at a time. In this episode of NC Wine Snobs on Vacation, we stopped in at Eagles Rest Cellars in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. The view at Eagle Rest Cellars is amazing. It includes an overlook of the orchard and the vineyard. In the tasting room, you will see some memorabilia related to TWA, as the owner was a pilot in the Air Force and also for TWA.
And you notice, of course, that the names of some of the wines reflect that aviation theme based on the owner's background. First one we tried was Airdrop 2020. It was made from the Petite Pearl grape. Found that it had kind of a light mouthfeel.
Yeah, I found it had a cherry blueberry nose, and it was dark red in color. It was opaque. Could not really see through it. Had some fruity flavors with medium tannin, and it finished quite dry for me.
Yeah, definitely medium tannin. Some hints of smoke, maybe some cherries in there as well.
The second wine we tried was Drift, and I may butcher the name of this grape. It's a Duchanok grape. And it was an unoaked red. It was clear, almost like cranberry juice in terms of the color. It had a fruity, like a fruit punch nose, some slight sweetness, light on the tannins, and a little bit of a hint of citrus.
I actually got a little bit of a kind of grassy notes on the nose as well, and found just some hints of citrus underneath really ripe berry type flavors.
Our third wine was called Divert, and this was the Frontenac grape. And it was clear, it had a cranberry flavor to it and a light mouthfeel for me.
Yeah, I found it had a very sweet, kind of a fruity nose to it. Got some hints of leather, maybe a touch of smoke. It wasn't really a bold wine, but really quite good.
Next up was Taxi, which was a pale green straw in color. It was also clear. It had a grassy nose. I found some crisp green apple and citrus flavors. And I think it was an easy drinking, sipping wine, almost like a front porch wine, even though it was dry.
Yeah, it's actually made from the Cayuga grape. I picked up some lemon, some grass, kind of tropical fruit notes on the nose as well. In addition to the green apple, I kind of found some pear, nice bright, fresh tartness in the flavor.
So the fifth wine was Flare, and it was pale straw color. It had a grassy nose as well. And I found some pear flavor with a little bit of pineapple to
it. Yeah, so with Flare, I actually got the aroma of tomato. Found that it was kind of on the tart side with some stone fruit notes and maybe some hints of citrus as well.
Next up was Hey Nav, which was a grapey nose like fresh red grapes from the grocery store. And it had some chocolatey notes that actually reminded me of one of my favorite wines from Grassy Creek called Guernsey Red. And you know how much I love Guernsey Red.
Yeah. Hey Nav is from the Frontenac grape. Some aromas of cherry, plum, maybe dark fruits on the aromas. Found it to be kind of semi-sweet. Now I got some notes of leather, some smoke, and berries on.
Yeah, I can see that. That's pretty much the profile of my favorite Guernsey Red as well. Our last wine we tasted was Happy Landings. It was pale straw in color. It had a honey nose for me and some light citrus flavor and a little bit of sweetness.
Yeah, it had a clean aroma. I got notes of citrus and pineapple out of it. I found it to be really a crisp, tart wine, very, very refreshing. It's made from the Brianna grape. As we've gone through these, we've talked about Petite Pearl, Frontenac Blanc, and Brianna, all of which were grown, are estate varietals, so they were grown on site. The rest of the wines that we talked about were all grown in the Erie, Pennsylvania area.
So my favorite bottle out of all the seven that we tasted would be Hey Nav, and that red.
I think hands down that was.
Now, if I was forced to pick one out of the whites, I'd say Taxi would be a great wine for both sweet and dry wine drinkers.
I would absolutely agree with that. So what do you think? Have you been to Eagles Rest Cellars? If so, tell us what your thoughts about them are in the comments below.
And if you haven't been and we've intrigued you to go, please make sure to let them know that the Snobs sent you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell turned on.